Hello everyone, welcome back to Comparative Investing Techniques CIT channel. This video we are using a SGS listed company called Isdn Holding to share with investor on investment concept. When it comes to investment, it is very important to understand the concept of investment, because basically what we are investing is the future of business performance. So when we actually apply a concept from the Buddhism, that nothing is permanent in this world, meaning the future is always constantly changing. Like for example, let's say very simple, we just apply to our family, the size of our family member. If a couple who just got married, there are two persons in the family, and thereafter they produce baby and they have maybe 3 or 4 people in the family size. Alright, so as time goes by, maybe the husband passed away, so the family size actually reduced. So you can see that things in this world is nothing is permanent, so it's always on a state of change. So likewise, when it comes to investments, it's also the same thing. So when we are talking about a stocks or a business, for CIT, we always do not provide any insights, analysis, or prediction on a particular stocks or business, because there's no point in doing so, and whatever that we are going to share with you are all based on historical data. At most is the most latest present data, but it also is historical. Alright, so we also do not know what is going to happen in the future. So this is very important to understand this concept, and when you know that the future is not predictable and is always at a state of change, then you know that as an investor, you need to protect yourself from this risk or this uncertainty of change, right? So there comes the importance of investing via a portfolio, right? So with that, we shall go into ISDN to use this as an example to make investor understand the concept of investment. So when refer to our Facebook on the 27th of November 2020, we based on the ISDN Holding 2020 Q2 result, we estimated the intrinsic value at 0.292. Alright, close price is 0.43 as per our attachment. Alright, so when come to 2nd of March 2021, based on its Q4 result, we estimated the intrinsic value at 0.358 and close price went up to 0.61, again as per our attachment. Alright, so when we look at the changes of the intrinsic value versus the share price, you know that when the intrinsic value actually increase, the share price also follow. It will be always the share price reflecting the intrinsic value. It will not be the other way around, because when you invest, you are trying to determine the worth of the business. Alright, that is what the investor is trying to do. So when you try to determine the worth of the business by keying in your bid and offer price, and that will have an effect on the prices reflected on the stock market. Alright, so you can see that the share price is actually moving up. The intrinsic value is actually increasing. Likewise for the share price, but you know that the share price is actually running at a much faster rate than the intrinsic value. Right, so this kind of situation actually can happen very oftenly, because some stocks is the share price always trail behind the intrinsic value. Alright, and in fact this kind of situation is the best situation for an investor, because you are actually buying the stocks at a very cheap valuation. And for this case, it is actually the other way around. The intrinsic value is chasing after the share price. So for this kind of situation, right, it's not ideal for investor, because you are actually paying the share price which is much higher than the intrinsic value. So if let's say anything happen to the investment environment that trigger a negative catalyst and create fear, and everybody start dumping the stocks, then you'll find that you will end up at a loss. So we have saw this what you call example from another group, where we want to use this as an example for sharing only, and not for the purpose of saying whether who is better. So you can see that when you actually invest by following the share price, this is a problem, because you do not know the value. So for us as an investor, when we see ISDN, the value is much lower than share price, we will avoid this stock. So we will not be get ourselves into this situation whereby we have to trigger a stop loss and incurred in losses. Like for example, this person is actually definitely incurred in losses, so he's not very happy about the stocks. Alright, so once again, like what we have mentioned to investor, when it comes to investment, it's not only about looking at the intrinsic value. You still need to buy at a discount below that intrinsic value, because the future intrinsic value can either increase or decrease. So you need to give yourself a margin of safety and to protect your position in the event if the future intrinsic value is against you. Alright, so with that, we shall end our sharing on this topic. Thank you for watching this video, and goodbye.